What is going on, beautiful beings and conscious co-creators? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Gratitude for every single one of you beautiful beings. I wanted to come on here today. I know, long time no see, right? I wanted to come on here today and deliver a collective message. I've been pulling cards for myself for a while now, just behind the scenes. And I just was really pressed to make a video sharing a collective message. I really want to point out for a second, though, and this person knows who they are, but I truly believe that I have an angel watching over me. And I really appreciate this person for reaching out to me and, just bringing words of positivity. And I so appreciate you. You have no idea what your words have done, and the timing of it is just so uncanny. It's how I know it was Spirit using you as a vessel, and I appreciate you, and I have gratitude for you allowing yourself to be a vessel for which Spirit can communicate through. So anyway, I wanted to say thank you in this video as well as on the side. And yeah, I just feel so called to deliver a message. So that's what I'm doing here today. It's a collective message, so whatever Spirit has, we're just going to lay the cards out and discuss. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. This card says diving for light. I'm going to actually read from the book this time. So this card reads, "How brave you are. You are diving for light. It could be so much simpler to seek light in the heavenly, in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only a rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have taken such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, wisdom, and creative juice. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. The oracle of diving for light speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may or may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted and socially acknowledged because there is a socially acceptable or obvious reason for it, such as a death or divorce or a retrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You might not need a reason to be able to accept. Likewise, you may struggle to find an unconditional acceptance of your experience. Just know that you are actually on track and right where you need to be. Our creative process and our spiritual path go through a similar turning of the wheel. There is a spring and summer in the seasons of our soul as well as in the earthly ones. There is an autumn harvest and there is a death inherent in winter, when energy is concentrated and pulled within to seek out the darkness where it can rest, regenerate, and simply be, until the time is right for new life, energy, and creative inspiration to burst forth. When diving for light, One must be willing to bear the darkness and understand it has a purpose, much like winter does upon earth. It is not an error or through lack of consciousness that you are here now. It is a testament to your spiritual growth and creative process, not a sign that they are lacking or stalling. The healing process below will help you with your inward plunging and to successfully navigate it. This oracle brings particular guidance that although you are powerful, you are also vulnerable at this time. You need to be alert to sabotage and criticism that may make your progress more difficult than it already is. That would be rather unnecessary. At least some of the people around you might be more attached to their fear and doubt than to their faith in your process and in the ways of the creative, rebellious spiritual path that asks us to trust unconditionally. They may be frightened due to a lack of understanding. You don't need to carry their fear for them. You have your own process to attend to, and they can choose to be inspired by your journey or frightened by it. They are free to respond as they wish, and whatever those responses are, they are part of their journey for them to work through. You also need to be vigilant against the darker forces within you. These are the voices that you may not expect, particularly if you are a pure-hearted being who typically resonates with love. These voices of feelings might surprise you with their dark intensity. They may be feelings of hate, terror, or wanting to sleep because anything further is all just too hard. They may contain vicious criticism of yourself, or tell you that your inner creative work is pointless, unoriginal, or not worth it, or stupid. These dark forces might try to tell you that you are on the wrong path, suggest that you will fail, or ask with great condescension, "Who the hell do you think you are?" You must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces. Stay in compassion. Fear creates the energy of anger, hate, and destructiveness. These forces are part of life. We don't have to be frightened of them, nor do we need to deny their existence or try to ignore them in order to find light in the darkness. We just need to hold compassion and be intelligently aware so we can avoid being seduced into the trap of needing to prove ourselves or into the mistaken belief that we need to fight against darkness. It is too easy to get caught up in trying to heal the dark. Darkness just is. Recognize it when it is there and be in your compassionate heart. All you need to do is make a choice. Will you stay in your heart, or will you be seduced by darkness and overcome by hate or sleepiness? Diving for light is a spiritual test and a threshold for all true creative work. We're successfully navigating our way through this test and past this threshold into new creative birth by staying connected to the light of compassion in our own hearts. It is not an easy test, but it is one that you must be ready for. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming to you now. Just remember, it is the light of the heart that sustains. It exists within us always, even in the darkest depths of unknown terrain. This oracle also comes with a special message. There is a darkness within or around you that could be problematic if left unchecked. If, for no particular reason, you find yourself feeling angry, irritated, hopeless, or tired more easily than usual, unable to rest, or it's just too much effort to exercise or take care of yourself, then this darkness is having an unnecessary effect on you. It is time to end that now from a place of compassion. The healing process below will empower you for that task. Don't be afraid. You are learning this lesson with unending power of compassion because you are ready for it. Feel honored by the lesson and stay humbly centered in your powerful, rebellious heart that refuses to be conquered by fear and remains faithful to love. All will be well. So that's what this says. I did forget to mention, this is the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and this is by Elena Fairchild. I've particularly taken a big liking into this deck lately. I've been pulling it for myself and loved ones, so I felt it most appropriate to bring to my family here on Indigo Island. So I'm going to also read through the healing process. So give me a second. Say this aloud, whether it makes sense or not. I'm going to say with sentence for sentence, and if you're in a particular place where you can say it aloud with me, I want you to say it after me. Okay, this is a very powerful message that is written in this book. Okay, so again, it says, say this aloud, whether it makes sense to you or not. I call upon the presence of unconditional love. Be here now without restraint. Fill me and fill this space. Touch all beings with your grace. I feel the presence of unconditional love within me. I acknowledge the presence of unconditional love all around me. I am the presence of unconditional love, and in this love, no fear can remain. May unconditional love guide any fear back to the light of love, or back into the earth as serves the greatest good. My body, mind, heart, and soul are now completely bathed in and protected by unconditional love. Through my own free will, this is so. Ashe, ashe. Repeat morning and night for at least 3 days and continue for as long as you wish and feels good for you. You may feel some reactions to this work. Fear, anger, or irritation may come up. You may feel an overwhelming need to go and do something that doesn't actually seem that important once you start doing it and could have waited 5 more minutes. You might feel nauseous. You might feel emotional with sadness or grief passing through you. These are all signs that your healing process is working on the darker energy, and the energy is releasing itself from you. Repeat this simple process until you feel clear. Don't be afraid to continue with it as much as needed, especially if you live or work in a toxic environment with a lot of negative energy, negativity, arguments, anger, or disturbances, and cannot extricate yourself from that environment for a period of time for various reasons. If you feel you need additional help, seek a reputable shaman or spiritual healer. There's no need to fear or feel burdened by this work. You are being drawn into this experience so that you are ready to experience more light. To be ready for that, we must be capable of handling equal darkness. Now is the preparation. Soon the celebration will follow. I love this message. For me, I'm sure there are some of you guys who really needed to hear this message as well. And so I'm very grateful for this space that we're sharing. I am also just making sure my camera is still recording. I'm also going to pull a couple of cards. This card says, within the next few weeks, and trust. So, of course, as we're talking about this undertaking, this process that we're going through, this healing process that is so necessary for us in order to move from one place into another, into a new beginning, a new journey of sorts. It's appearing that even just by doing this healing process and preparing ourselves for this new chapter, this is, some of you guys may be wondering, okay, so well, when is this happening? And these cards are coming in to say it's coming very soon, sooner than you may think, and more or less to take heed of the instructions, because you'll see movement within a few weeks. Okay, there is massive, massive trust needed, trusting in the process. I think it mentioned that in the book that I just read, the guidebook, but it's a requirement that you trust in the process and that you bury yourself so deep in your faith that it doesn't matter what the outside is looking like. I know in the book it read, it was mentioning that you may have a toxic environment that you're trying to get through, or you might have people, relationships that don't understand the process that you're going through, and up until this point, maybe you have been relying heavily on their thoughts and opinions and perspectives on where you are in life, but this moment is for you and you alone. It is not meant for anyone else to understand. It is not meant for anyone else to comment on. It's almost like Spirit is asking you to see yourself first. I'm going to pull a couple of cards from one of my favorite tarot decks. Also, I'm going to write in the words to the healing process. I'll write that in the description box for those of you guys who may want to write that down, and just so you can always have that on you so you can meditate on that morning and night. I'll include that in the description box for you guys, so don't worry about that. So we already have the Three of Stones coming out. The Two of Drums, and we have the... Okay, so this card is called the Hunter of Demons. Jeez. So this is the Hunter of Demons. This would be considered a major arcana. And according to the book, this says this is a priest warrior of the path of shadows. Secrets unveiled, spiritual power. The book talks about how powerful you are as a creator and how you need to utilize that power when you're navigating through these moments of darkness. It talks about, like the card saying diving for light is talking about reaching the light through the darkness, and in the darkness we begin to uncover things about ourselves that a lot of us tuck away. We don't, that terminology, to shed light on. We typically shed light on something because if we didn't intentionally address it, it would probably be in the closet with all the other skeletons. And some of you are really in a process of sorting through some of your skeletons, and it can be a very uneasy and difficult process. It can be a process that requires a lot of purging. The book talked about symptoms of purging: nausea. You can experience headaches. You can experience irritation, frustration. Purging can also be actually vomiting. Purging can also actually be bowel movements. The concept regarding a spiritual purge in this sense, and I'm not talking about the other side, but in a spiritual way, is to rid yourself of all of that negative energy that's in you, that you've been holding on to even in a subconscious fashion. So this Three of Stones, it says this card is actually called the Concentration of Power, and it talks about, it said sometimes extreme, but if well organized, can lead to the conclusion of a project. It has the energy of profitable collaboration and intelligent cooperation. And then the Three of Drums is rhythm. And it talks about evolution of a situation that has been stalling, opportunities and deadlines. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the three of drums. That's the two of drums. Listening. Silence is necessary for looking inside. Inner world's isolation. So again, this card is asking you to go inward. It's not so much of a focus of what's happening on the outside as it is about doing work and cleansing, and releasing and healing the inside, the innermost parts of yourself. And that's why I think the book was saying don't focus so much on the outside. So, that was the message that I had for you guys. If it resonated in any way, Ashe, I'm so grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I will leave my email in the description box and you can just send me an email. That's totally fine because I am going to start disabling the comment section. Until further notice, at least on future videos. So, like I said, if there's any questions, comments, or concerns regarding my readings, what I just read here, what have you, and also right now I don't have social media. I deactivated all of that. So the best way to reach me is through email. I'll link that in the description box along with the healing process that we went over. So I wish you all a wonderful and pleasant rest of your day, and I'm sending good vibes to every single one of you guys that identified or connected with this reading. Okay, Ashe.